What a lovely couple we make.
Yeah, such a lovely photo.
That was awesome.
Hello.
Loved your intro.
How are you?
Fantastic. All the better for seeing you, Rob. Big Rob.
Thank you very much. What a lovely pleasure to have some beauty on that side of the screen.
My word, it's started already.
So, what a night.
Oh, what a night.
We got some great people. Great.
We do.
You know, we had a great laugh with everyone.
It was
going to be a fun chat.
Yes.
No.
I think Penny's poorly still, so Penny may drop out at any point because she's suffering from COVID, bless her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just
Lauren,
straight up.
Lauren's not well, so send her some love hearts from us.
Yeah.
Hope she feels better. I'm sure Dan's looking after her.
Yeah.
But other than that, we got some great people in the room to have that with. You know, we could talk about Sarah fangirling over Penny about their karaoke moment. You know, it's all sorts to talk about.
The day trip, it was amazing.
So but shall we bring everyone on and
we'll bring them up?
Going? Yeah.
So first to the stage is one of the main organisers, Karen. Good evening. And then we have Rachel.
Evening.
Good evening. Then we have the wonderful Penny.
How do?
And then we have Big Rob, number 2.
Hello.
Oh dear. What a weekend, ladies, that you put on. It was fantastic.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Just never disappoints. Incredible.
Yeah,
it was a great weekend, but how are you two feeling now it's all done with? Like
all done with? We're already on 2024.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get that. Okay, maybe the wrong word. But yeah, like if you look back on, you know, what you've just done, you know, was there like a highlight moment for you for the weekend? Or
when you all went home.
Yeah.
Glad you said it.
Yeah, no, we really enjoyed this year. It was so much different to last year. It went smoother. It was just overall better. Can't fault it. We really enjoyed this year, and we got back in our cars and we headed up north. Karen headed, don't know where she lives in the UK, but I think we struggled a little bit when we're leaving because it's like you're leaving your family behind. So you all become so close over that week that it's really hard to say. And I posted on Facebook saying the hardest part of the festival 2023 was saying goodbye, and it's true because you become so close to people. It's such a tight knit community that when we got back in the cars, it was almost like we'd left a piece of our hearts behind. So thank you, everybody, for coming. We really appreciate it, don't we, Karen?
Yeah, we do. And I was gutted because obviously I live on my own. So I come home to no one after spending spending most of the week with Darren and Rachel and Jay. Then obviously the girls, Nikki and Gemma, met us on Thursday, and everybody else came along like Wednesday, Thursday. And we went out and had a nice meal like Wednesday, and then we all went out together on Thursday, and then having all of you guys turning up as well. So it was just like full on all weekend. And I come home and I was like, yes, so it's just me. Who am I going to talk to now?
Oh, bless.
Oh, wow.
But it was amazing. There's so many people that came back this year that came last year, and a lot of people that came this year for the first time. I've been nagging. I've had so many messages since I was actually getting messages on Monday when I was driving home asking me when tickets were going up for next year. And I was like, I got home and I messaged everyone back. And I was driving home from Bosworth after dropping Jay at the train station. I'm like, I've literally just got home. I will let you know.
Well, it's amazing that the response that you're getting from all the hard work that you've put into it has made it worthwhile, that you're getting that sort of response and that sort of demand. So, you know, fair play to you guys for putting on such a great weekend.
And it was very personal as well, because it's great that we actually had the guests to ourselves, which you wouldn't get that at any other event.
No. No.
No, and
I was
that's the whole
going-
point of the VIP, though. You go VIP, that's the experience you get.
Well,
Yeah, what they haven't told you is that those guests, we're now in counselling because of that. But don't worry about it.
Oh, bless you. So we got
I
some
told you
people.
to pay her, for goodness sake.
Way to go.
We got some people in the room. Dan from Portal to the Paranormal. Lauren's suffering from COVID, so Dan's looking after children.
Oh.
Give me all
We
kisses.
love Lauren.
We have Lynn Peters in the room. Good evening, Lynn.
Hey, Lynn.
Lovely.
Hey,
Aaron Grant.
Aaron, my lift. He carried me on the Saturday night.
Oh, on the way after the party. Do you know when we were walking back?
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
And then we have Nick. Good evening, Nick.
Good evening.
Yes, because I was not drunk on the Saturday night. He was carrying me because I couldn't walk anymore in my shoes. They were killing me.
But to be fair, for someone that wasn't drunk and wasn't drinking, you had loads of energy.
Oh, you did laps.
I think all I can remember was you just starting up and down the dance floor, which was amusing.
Yeah,
That's kind of normal. I did the same thing last. Penny will tell you, and Rachel will tell you, and Rob will tell you. And Sarah, I did exactly the same last year. At the party last year, I didn't drink. I drank water all night that night as well because I'm just nuts anyway. I don't need to drink.
No.
See, I knew she was sober on Saturday night because at one point she comes hurtling towards me and I'm thinking, she ain't gonna, and she stopped. That's how I knew she was sober.
I remember that. You went, I thought you were going to stop then.
I thought I was going to be a giant skittle at one point. Yeah.
Oh, bless.
Great.
We have Michaela in the room.
Yeah.
Hi, Michaela.
Hi, Delilah.
Hi.
Lynn says, Roberto says hi.
Oh, Roberto. He's an old
Ruth,
rogue, that
Ruth.
one.
There's
Oh,
Ruth.
Ruth.
Oh,
Ruth.
Ruth. Hello, Ruth.
Ruth's Paint
That's
It
just
Black
good.
was incredible.
Ruth
Gonna
was
be next
rocking
year
it.
with your wife.
Smashed it.
That's Nick and Abby. Bless them. Then you've got
And
Dean.
Dean says, hi, everyone.
Hi, Dean.
So, I've got a question for you, Rob. Actually, not Big Rob, Rob below you. You're from the UK and everything.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard every time you got to leave to go home? Do you find it harder and harder? Like this is your second year coming back.
Mm.
Do you find it harder going back home?
Yeah, it's really. Someone actually asked me like an hour ago, how is the Paracon? And I said, honestly, it was just, I don't know where to start, but it didn't feel like a Paracon because Paracons, not to diss any of the Paracons, I go to or upcoming, but it was just more like a family reunion. Because just all of the people that you meet and in all of the new people, it just feels like you're in this wonderful, warm, cozy, comfy, safe place. Apart from with Rachel around, but you're in this safe place where there's so much love, and I mean, spiritually speaking, that means loads of vibrational energy. It was a bit of a downer, to be honest. Like what Rachel said, leaving was a real downer. You wanted it to be like Thursday evening again.
Yeah.
And it does get harder. If I had 3 Paracons that I could do 3 events, that I could only do 3 events every year, this would be number 1 every single time.
It's great to have you. I mean, platform mediumship and all the activities you had with when we took the coach out and we did the historian tour, it was brilliant. Really, really, you just kept us going constantly.
Yeah,
It was good. Like that for me, the platform media shit, getting me in tears in front of a group of people, that was a bit.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. And
you picked up a Maggie as well, didn't you? Margaret, that was one of the nurses there.
That's right.
She said, shout out some names. And what come to my mind as well was Alice. And then Penny said, there was an Alice there as well. I didn't shout it out, but I was thinking that.
There were 3. Yeah, there were 3 matrons: Mabel, Alice, and Margaret.
Wow.
And Alice and Mabel have come through before when I've done investigations there.
And didn't Rob even say, "Oh, I think she might work here," or she was in the nursing profession? And that when you said that, it all just sort of clicked into place, didn't it? Brilliant.
Yeah, I was very I was really, again, just the positive energy of everyone when I did the gallery. It just it really wasn't too surprising to me that so many people came through, and I just would have kept going and going. I mean, it was just really a very deeply emotional and spiritual experience. When that happens and magic happens, it's because of the love. That's what it is. Only can happen at Festival of the Unexplained.
Penny, that castle, what a brilliant where you pulled that out. That was awesome. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I can't take credit for the castle. The castle's been there quite a long time.
But the Americans are like, whoa.
Penny just put it together the day before we went.
Like Lego. Yeah, I'm good at Lego. Yeah.
But do you know what? We're talking about that. It was, I might mispronounce, Kenilworth. I can't say it.
Kenilworth.
Castle. What goes into preparing for that? Because you did quite a lot. You had a lot prepared to, so.
All right, where's my notebook?
Don't get it started. You've
One
started
sec.
something. Oh God, get comfortable, everyone.
This whole bag. Just
wow.
the notes that were from the actual research that's all logged on my computer. Girls, when did I start researching that place for you? It was about 8 months ago, 8 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to. Yeah, it's got to be something like that.
I would say I did at least 2 visits there. Oh crumbs! I went to the National Archives to check stuff in London. I probably more research than I do for the books, if I'm honest. Hours worth of research. Contacting, because of the eras that I wanted to talk about, contacting historical experts in those eras, so I could just double check a few points with them. Oh yeah, there was. It wasn't. It didn't take me 20 minutes to put together. Put it that way.
Fine-tooth comb, I think.
Yeah.
Penny literally smashes it every single year. This year, Penny actually chose our location for us as well. So Penny chose the location, which which everyone should be aware of, but I don't know if they are or not. And the amount of work she puts in it's just incredible. It's ridiculous, the amount, in a good way, but it's ridiculous the amount of work she puts in. Because the thing is, when she does these things for us, it's not a case of it's somewhere she goes all the time or she's written about or anything else. So she really gets stuck in and she puts so much work into it. And we do appreciate it. And the fact that she keeps coming back is even better.
And I think for me personally, because this was the first time I got to attend the Festival of the Unexplained, for me the tour was it was exactly to what you guys are saying, like it's a family. Like the way Penny delivered the talks around was amazing, but then the way you got Rob involved with the helmet, having that laughing factor, then Rachel and Danny getting involved as well. It was like everyone was so comfortable, and it wasn't like sometimes people get so lost in it, you feel like you're in a classroom.
I did get lost, but got lost in the story.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the way it was presented, it was just fun, and it was just a great time. Like
great fun. And the
to watch you guys do what you do, and the connection you all guys have together. I think it made it easier for everyone else to get on with around each other, because a lot of us, we were meeting for the first time. I just think it was the way it was done. It was brilliant. So
thank you.
Well done, Penny. I think I did enjoy that.
Well done, Rob.
And well done, Rob, being the king.
Yeah.
It's always it's turning out to be a defining role, but that's like really the other thing about her, about Penn, you just like you rope everyone into it, whether it be King Danny and Queen Rachel, and their fling, and whether it be me, whoever it is, you get people just interacting with you, and with it feels like that you're part of a big documentary. And you're in there, and it's like my absolute favorite thing every single year. Like, it's hard to say favorite because there are a few, but it's like up there number.
Don't lie, Rob. There's only one
Favourite.
favourite, and it's us. Come on, just be honest. We know it, you know it, everyone knows it.
But yeah, so just everyone, you know, it didn't even. I felt like I was the one who was just so honored to be a part of this fantastic group of people, and it didn't matter whether you were on TV or a novelist or a historian, you know, all the above. I just really was very sad when I had to leave, and otherwise I'd still be there along with Nando by the bar.
Staring each other out.
Just staring at each other.
Yeah. Threats across the bar.
Yeah, that will never happen again. That
was a great treat. The platform mediumship, never experienced anything like that before.
That was
and
good.
Everyone just got involved, didn't they? It's brilliant.
Yeah. And then
all I'll say, Rob, is I know you enjoy playing Henry's, but just thank you, Lucky Stars, I didn't ask you to be Edward II, because that might have ended a bit painfully.
Oh yeah, well, no, are you having a poker at me or
a red hot one? Yeah, a red hot one. Yeah.
Just a way that you delivered that, you know, like 5 minutes before lunch or something like that. Was just like cooked from the inside out. So you couldn't see any signs of, it was very graphic. And
believe me, it wasn't as graphic as it could have been. And everyone said they wanted to know, well, there was no sanitized way of explaining it.
No.
It was funny. It was a funny moment. Like I said, the way you presented it was absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
And we had a laugh. I think
There's
it was
something
just
for
fun.
everyone, to the UFOs and the cryptids and all sorts. Yeah.
Even to the last day, Karen's little session in the room upstairs was very gut-wrenching, but also heartwarming at the same time.
It was.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, about your mental health awareness, Karen. I think, you know, on a personal, I think that was very brave what you did, and I think it was an amazing part of it, because I think it takes a lot for people to be honest when they're suffering. And for you to put yourself out there for all of us that may be feeling the same,
very brave.
You know, I think that was a great piece of the weekend for me to see yourself. And, you know, I think you did a great job at it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. My mum's called me today, actually, and because I outed myself in front of her about, like I explained at the time, there's so many things Rachel knows, because I tell Rachel everything, but there's a lot of things that my family don't know. And I don't tell them, and I'm not honest with them, and I basically lie through my teeth to them all the time for their sake, I think. But the only downside to doing that and being honest is that I outed myself to my mum, and she keeps ringing me now, even more than usual.
Letterbox now.
Yeah.
But at least you're planning for the festival next year, so that's your excuse, wasn't it? Because that's what you said on the day. You're like, I'm too busy with the festival.
Your mum,
that's true. Yeah,
your
that
mum's
was my main
amazing.
excuse.
Your mum's amazing. I tell you what, and I heard a few people agree with me on this. It was like, I think everyone, all the special guests of vendors, everyone just felt like that she was everyone's mum, you know. And it was just, she's just such a great person. She's such a character.
Yeah, it was fun. I inflicted the rest of my family on you this year. You're lucky not all of them were there. I think that was more than enough.
And they were the normal ones as well. Wait till you meet the others. They're completely bonkers.
Rachel loves all of them ones. She thinks they're all great. She's like, just don't bring the rest. Just don't bring the others.
So
they all know, so it's fine. I'm not outing her.
I have a question for you, Rob. You're being called Little Rob, right? Because there is only room for one big Rob. So you're being Little Rob on this one.
I'm happy to be little. Yeah.
Nick says, can you sense a person who might be sensitive but not be told or trained as such?
Yes. Yeah. And sometimes you don't. It's like sometimes you don't know. Give you two examples. For the on the one time there were people here present that I've read during this year and last year who have really deep intuitive abilities. I mean, it was more a case of who doesn't, you know. It's like it was pretty crazy, really. But before I even got to the festival, there was a guy coming down. It was just at Heathrow, and there was a guy coming down the down escalator as we were going up with the glass between and everything. And he looked over at me, and he was just like, "This is going to be good for you, and have a safe journey." And then look back, and then I smiled, like no words were exchanged, but it was just, like that. And I turned around and I opened my mouth to say something to Heather, and she was just like, "That guy," and I was like, "Yeah," and she was like, I said, "You too," and he was, "Yeah." She was like, have a good time or something, and that was mental. Wow. So yeah, that happened a couple times, and if I may, Nando, I mean, I think the thing is that people don't realize is that mediums aren't just sort of, there's not this quick add water in your medium thing. It's like you're born. I think most everyone is born with that ability.
Yeah, I think
what I mean? And it's like a muscle, like wiggling your ears. And the more you do it, the more you can do it, and the better at it you become. So yeah, I think it's a very common gift that not everyone chooses to embrace, and not many people at all realize that they actually have. Hopefully that answers the question.
Cool. Thank you very much. Michaela says she felt like she gained new family members last weekend. I think we all did.
Yeah.
We all did.
I think the weekend taken away, it was just how natural it was just to sort of mix in with everyone and just have a laugh. The
hotel was beautiful, wasn't it? Absolutely, it always is. Yeah, the history of the place as well. You got a great location for it. Neil,
if you don't know about the history, buy Penny's book.
Yeah.
And on Penny, Paranormal Playtime. I've read all the books, and it was great.
Got it.
It was. Do you know what? Part of the book that really shocked me was the fact that there was a law put in place for cruelty to animals before children being mistreated. And I said to Sarah, I was like, "That's shocking."
No, that's correct.
Well, that's why I put it in there, because it illustrated how little regard they had for children. That the RSPCA was basically formed before about. If you've just read it, so you probably know the exact date. It's like 40 or 50 years before the NSPCC, or what became the NSPCC, and that was why I put it in the book, to try and show people that when people think everyone's being cruel to children, but that whilst we would see it as being cruelty, children weren't children. They didn't become what we perceive as children until much later in the 1900s.
Yeah.
And the fact that they had children going into factories to work from the age of 5 upwards, it was just like it was such a good book. And do you know what? There were certain points that I kept laughing, that it was the way it was worded, is just the way you talk. Yeah. And it made me chuckle, because I kept saying, in your mind,
you can hear
I can hear Penny talking, and then
that's deliberate.
And that was quite funny. There was a few bits that I chuckled, because it was just the way it was worded. Yeah. It definitely come from Penny, and it was just like.
Neil's story was brilliant as well, wasn't he?
His dance moves, that guy.
Oh, Park Life. He did karaoke, didn't he? He did, on camera. I'll have to send you it.
That was
so fun.
But
even having the pint glass on his head while Danny's messing around, like down in between his legs, and like, whoa, hang on, and he's like keeping that pint still. I'm like, mate, I would have just spilt it. It would have gone.
Oh, he was funny.
Was there a funny moment for each of you that you can recall that was like the funniest moment that something happened over the weekend? I'm sure Karen and Rachel have been sworn to secrecy on that one. But anyone else?
Anyone else?
I was fangirling when Danny grabbed hold of me, and I was like, oh my God, that was it for me. Danny is a legend. I love that guy.
Not wrestling that guy at 12 o'clock in your underwear, Rob?
No, not wrestling the guy at 12 o'clock in my underwear. I tell you, the hotel is very poor on security. That's my only... So there was a fight round by my room. 2 foreign guys were fighting. They were nothing to do with the festival. They were staying there. because they booked it on booking.com, and they were having a scrap because they'd got drunk. And they sent this 76-year-old woman round with a radio as security. And I was like, what the hell are you going to do against these two meatheads? And because I'm a security guard anyway, I ended up holding one of them down until the police arrived and carted him off. And I was just like, I went to bed early because I had to drive home. So I was like, I'm going to go in there and go to bed. And it was like, yeah, it was a nightmare.
I think that's a hotel thing, because I know when I used to work in hotels and I was in my early 20s, and I'd be doing the cloakroom bit because I used to work behind the bar. So I'd be doing the cloakroom at the end of the function. And I remember one night, basically, this guy was jealous. I think his wife was having a fling with her boss. And anyway, I suddenly see him come flying down the stairs, pummel this other guy into a glass door. And I'm behind this sort of desk with the coats, and I'm hitting the security button, knowing full well our security guy is in his 70s, smaller than I am. I'm the one that does martial arts at the time. And I was, oh shit, I've got to deal with it. And so I jumped over and I pulled them apart, and then the wife appeared and she started beating 7 shades out of her husband. And I thought, I'll let her deal with it now. But I get told off by the hotel for getting involved. And I'm like, sweet, he couldn't have got here. You know, he walked slower than a bloody tortoise. So you were going to get someone's head going through a glass door. That's what makes me laugh when they have security people. They may have known what they were doing 40 years ago. Yeah. You know, what's the radio? I'm going to call someone on the radio. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
All the young ones were over at the festival. They were all dancing and drinking and serving drinks. This poor little old lady, I felt so sorry for her. But the next morning, she said thank you. When I got up for me breakfast, she was like, thank you for that. I went, that's fine, darling. That's what I get paid to do normally, so it's fine.
So nice to see you with your clothes on, Rob.
I can't help that I was asleep in my boxer shorts when it all kicked off, all right? Some people pay lots of money for that on OnlyFans. Big
Rob, I think you've got a bit of a David Walliams thing going on there. Yeah, for a second. Oh, for fuck's sake! You know, it was like.
We will be pleased to know that Bosworth Hall isn't on Booking.com anymore. It constantly says it's sold out.
Oh.
Yes, but have you seen how much it is for next year for a room for 2 nights?
No.
£350 for the 2 nights of the festival. That's how much it is on. That's how much it is on Britannia's website.
Yeah, on Britannia's website.
Yeah.
If you book directly with Britannia and you don't book through us.
Mm.
Yeah, I nearly had a heart attack. I was like, woohoo!
Yeah, but we know.
It's fine. I've got my tickets, unlike Nando, you know.
Hey, don't start with me.
Come on, Rachel. Funniest moments. Come on, Karen. Penny, what's your funniest moments of the festival?
Well, I think because I was sober on the Saturday night, it was quite funny watching everyone else who wasn't. That was quite amusing. I think the funniest thing, the thing that still's making me chuckle, is you, Sarah. The minute we finished doing our duet, oh my God, I just did karaoke with Penny Griffiths Morgan. I'm just like, that.
She woke up the next morning doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm hanging out of the bed, and she was like, I got to sing with Penny.
I got
to sing with Penny.
It.
Walking up and down. I'm like, Sarah, it was great, but I'm hanging. I can't deal with this right now.
It wasn't just like she said it was the volume and the pitch. And I'm just like, whoa! Even Kiki didn't need to get that high.
Oh, yeah, we smashed it.
That was good. What about you, Rachel? Funniest moment for you?
So it's a moment that no one else really saw, but you know, on the Friday, we went on the day trip on a Friday, and obviously we had sandwiches, we had a packed lunch. Well, I didn't make those sandwiches alone. There may have been an American ghost hunter that helped me with that. And I tried taking a photo of him, and I was severely chastised for taking a photo of him making sandwiches. But there were just so many moments that were not just funny, but really kind of heartwarming. Just everything made me smile the entire weekend. So I don't think I can pinpoint one particularly hilarious moment. Everything was just great. Everything made me smile from start to finish. Neil dancing, he was doing the flamenco to Ocean Colour scene. That's pretty epic.
I got you,
and I have video evidence of that. So that tickled me, and Dave as well. So there was a moment where Dave was talking to Danny. They were both sort of like flirting with each other. And Dave says, "Come here, LT Gray." And then he looks straight at me and he's like, "That's Espanol for the tiger." And it's just random, like just random one-liners that came out of people's mouths were just wonderful.
Yeah. It was good. Karen?
I don't know. It's just too many. Do you know what? I honestly can't just pick one thing. So because obviously I was like the sober one at the weekend. I witnessed lots of things. It was amazing. So I could be here all night. There's so many. I can't just pinpoint one because there's like a whole list of them.
What about you, Rob? Little Rob.
God, where the
Little Rob.
that's gonna stick, you know. I mean, I'll be like, like Little John and Little Rob, and but so yeah, there were a couple. There was a few actually, but one of them that in non-chronological order was a bit like the blind leading the blind, because I'd had a few, and then good old Lucy, bless her cotton socks, and we've had a laugh about this as well, and she's given me the okay to talk about it. So I was having a drink, and I thought, well, I've had a few too many, because I'm seeing Lucy, who obviously went home about half hour ago, floating in where there's no there's an outside window up.
The fire exit door.
And I'm like looking at my drink, and then of course I realized she was on the fire escape, and then down she goes, not down the fire escape, luckily, but down. And then we ran round, me and Rach and Karen, and
I was gonna say that's why I got carried, because I had no shoes on. I ran around with no shoes on.
Right, and we carried her down the 713 flights of stairs, and it was we got her in. And then at some point, because she had this beautiful ball gown on, beautiful, gorgeous ball gown, and I was trying my whole time to like lift it up, not to be pervy, but so I wouldn't trip on it. And then eventually, of course, I tripped on it, and then I went down on top of her, and then she went down. It was like dominoes on the stairs. We fell up some steps. And it was all quite rather funny afterwards, and then we can all have a laugh about it. But there was just like nothing could be, to be embarrassed about, because you were with family. And the other time, which was actually
the thing is about that, Rob, is I had full view of that whole thing, and I wasn't going to bring it up because no offense to Rob, but it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It was literally 1 minute talking to them. I turn around talking to 1 minute, and the next minute, and just like everybody's on the floor. And I'm like, what's happened? What's going on? And I was like, I was trying to say, you okay? But I was too busy laughing then to ask they were okay. So that's why I wasn't sharing mine, because I thought, I don't want to out Lucy. But if she said it's okay, then I should have outed him myself.
At one point, I was talking to my mate Jeff, was sat, and we were having a drink, and then there was this. Oh, what did Jeff say? Oh, hello, beautiful, and then this arm went round me, and I was just like, and then I felt the hot breath by my ear, and I was like, oh yeah, and I heard this, oh, gorgeous. And it's bloody Danny, and he's.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh my god!
He was going to move that weekend.
It's way too much action for one weekend. But yeah, it was just so many little gold nuggets that.
Definitely. And just before we continue, I think Penny, you're going to go. You're not feeling too good, are you?
No, I'm going to have to say goodnight, everyone. I'm starting to flag a little bit. So it's been lovely seeing you all again, and speak to you all soon. Bye, darlings. Bye.
See you later, darling.
Bye.
What about you, Big Rob? What was there a funny moment for you?
Oh, again, there was quite a few. Obviously,
the private
being groped by Danny.
Oh, the game of pool. Do you remember the game of pool?
Yeah, Sarah showing me what position she has her legs in the air was quite interesting. For a gay guy to be shown something like that was quite amusing.
It's out of context.
Anyway,
It's out of context.
You've got little legs like me, haven't you, Sarah? That's what it is. You have to put your leg up, otherwise you can't reach.
No, it was about eruption, but that's not for me to go any further with. And then Nando rolling up the stairs was quite good.
Mate, I just couldn't get up there. I couldn't even see straight. And then Sarah's there going, "Come on, we got to get up there." It was going to talk. I think it was Neil's story, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
I just couldn't get myself up, and then I just ended up rolling on the.
You all four in it, weren't you? Up them,
I was
them grand stairs.
But I think the best part was when we were in the bar, and Nando gets this really butch drink called Bailey's and starts sipping on it, and Danny Moss just looks at him and goes, "What the fucking hell are you drinking?" And we just rip it out of Nando for the entire afternoon. Then it was like, yes.
But I think what got Danny even more, he turned away to carry on watching the football, and then he turned around to see me having my nails painted and have an eyeliner put on my eyes by Lauren.
For the ball.
And he was shocked.
Yeah, he sat down to earth, didn't he?
It was very
great.
fun. It was a good weekend. For you guys, like, we're enjoying the weekend. You got your guest speakers doing their thing. Are you guys already planning what you're going to be doing for next year to make it bigger than what you've done?
Is there any little
this
secrets
year?
You can give away?
We were already planning next year before this year actually happened.
Oh wow!
Okay, so how long does it take to plan an event for you two?
An entire year, and then you're still planning it after the event. So you're always thinking about what you could have done to have changed it. Even on the drive home, people are checking out, and you're still thinking, and that's got to be done, and that's got to be done. So it's the post-festival stuff as well. So all the catch-ups that we do with everybody, these kinds of chats, and listening to everybody's memories and stories. So it never really ends, and then you're thrown straight into the next one. But it does take a good year, and there's a lot of work goes into it. We do work full time. I have a family. We have, events on weekends as well. So we've got to cram in what we can when we can. So we're really fortunate that we have a really great team working with us as well. We have Nikki, we've got Gemma. Jill helped out this year. Karen's family helped out. Excuse me. And without them, we just wouldn't have got to the finish line, I don't think. And I think that's why this year worked so well. Because I've been part of the planning process right from the start of this year, and I kind of stepped in last minute last year, so I think you could tell the difference, with the planning and the timings and things. So it takes a lot of effort. There's a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of money spent, a lot of late nights listening to Karen ramble, and a lot of negotiations. And I think we've been very fortunate, especially these last 2 years, is that we've had such a good mix of speakers and guests. And it's nobody has any airs and graces about them. Nobody turns up thinking they're better than anybody else. Everyone's there as an equal. Everyone's there as an enthusiast in something different. And there's no bullying. I know that the word sort of para-unity is thrown about quite a bit, and it's a word that you don't see evidence of very, very frequently. It's such a sneaky cesspit sometimes.
Yeah.
But you come to an event like that, and there is nobody who thinks they're better than anyone else. No one else is trying to take anyone else down. And it is just one big family. And I think that's what we're grateful for and why we put all that effort into it.
Yeah.
That was my speech. That was my speech for the night.
I know. I was like,
you're
going to stop. No, I'm joking. No, it was. We always last year we had my brother-in-law was the chauffeur last year. We had a minibus to pick everybody up from the airport. So he was the chauffeur for all the guests last year, picked them all up and everything else and all the rest of it. My mum and my sister just come along to have a great time. That's all they come for. But we did pull in my brother and his daughters this year so they could help Nikki with the balloons, with AD as well. So we had them lot. Or what you didn't see is there was all 5 of them blowing up balloons for I don't know how long on the Saturday to make that blooming balloon arch. But it looked amazing, and it was well worth it because we didn't have to blow them up, did we, Rach?
No, we were busy and
We were
important
far
elsewhere.
too busy.
Too busy, too important.
Definitely.
Too busy.
Wow. Daggers are coming your
Nothing she
way,
wouldn't
Rach.
say to the girls anyway, is it? Come on.
Not fussed.
Personally, this was the best one this year. I know I went to last year's, but this one, it topped it big time. Yeah.
Don't say
Wait,
that. You
wait
want us
for
to top
next
it
year.
again.
It's going to be even better.
Yeah.
So next year you've cut it down to 3 days. What was your idea behind that from going from 4 to 3?
I think when we had a look at footfall on Sunday, it was clear that everybody had an absolute skinful Saturday night, and we were starting to, we noticed that. We noticed that people were flagging. There were people that were still in bed, or people had checked out and just couldn't function. Nando, you were just like out cold on the sofa for like 6 hours of that day. But it is such a long time to expect somebody to be away from home. And it is a party atmosphere. We aren't just going and we aren't listening to talks. You're getting involved and you're making new friends.
Yeah.
And so it's that social aspect takes its toll after 4 days. And we want to make sure that we cram in as much as possible within the 3 days next year. And there's going to be the option, there's going to be like additional options on top, which will be released later in the year. But we wanted to make sure that we got everything covered and everybody was able to experience everything, and that every speaker had the same turnout as well. Because there's nothing worse than you see on a Saturday, somebody's doing a talk and the room is full. Then you look on a Sunday and there might only be 4 or 5 people in there listening to the chats. So we want to make sure that everybody has that same platform, give everybody a chance to sort of exhibit themselves a little bit in a non-weird way. So that was the reason of sort of minimizing next year. It was just so we could deliver a bit of a punch all within 3 days without people getting utterly slaughtered. So that will still happen.
Yeah.
We will no doubt drink a ridiculous amount of alcohol and be incredibly merry and watch Neil dancing clapping at some point. But it's just going to be completely different. We've got new things planned. We've binned a few things off and introduced some new things. So you just have to wait for the announcements to come through.
Okay.
Yeah, like Rachel, we've made some changes for next year. And the thing is, those that came last year and came this year, we did the ghost hunt at Bosworth Hall on the Thursday night, both years. Okay, there was different speakers both years, but it was pretty much the same investigation. So we just, it just wanted to not keep doing the same thing every year. People to get bored. We want, like I said, we've got things. I think about what I'm saying. Has got things in the pipeline. It's just because we've put the tickets out. Obviously, as you're aware, because you've bought tickets and then you've been on the website already. Yes, we haven't announced any speakers yet, but the amount of people that are asking, when are you going to put the tickets up? We were like, well, everything's good to go.
Yeah.
Shall we just post the tickets out? If people buy them now before the speakers come up, then they buy them now. It's completely their choice. They're completely 100% aware that none of that has actually been announced as of yet. And as it turns out, I've just had a message of how many tickets we've already sold. And Rachel, I will fill you in after.
Are you not allowed to tell us?
No.
Go on.
No.
All I'm going to say is if you want to attend next year, I suggest you take advantage of those 6 and 8 installment plans now or within the next few days.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, I got mine after messaging this morning saying I've got on the page, but it's saying there's no tickets. I was clicking and I was pressing, and then you obviously said it was going to come up later. I was like, okay, that's fine. Because I was worried. I was going to my new job and I was like, I'm not going to get bloody tickets. That's it. I'm not going to get the full package.
It's fine. I've had lots of messages from lots of people today, Karen. I've just clicked and it's not working. I'm like, I sent everybody. I literally, because this is how sad I am. When I got back on Tuesday, I got back Monday night. Well, on Tuesday, I actually emailed every single ticket holder that attended this year individually and let them know when tickets would be going on sale for next year. And I do that every year because that's just like something I just like to do. One, Rachel and I have discussed this many times, do we tell people? But because there's so many people that come back each time and want to come back, I do send that email out. If they book them on the day, they book them on the day. If they don't, they don't. But at least they're aware of it. And then obviously, like today, I put the posts out saying tickets are on sale today.
Yeah,
you've minimalised as well, haven't you? You've binned off the Inf and the fairy tickets and just done the Saturday and the Sunday.
So the VIP, and then so we have got a question from Michaela. I'll pop it up on screen. Can you please do a Saturday and Sunday that includes the balls so that people that can't get there Friday can be included? Please kiss. Begging you there.
Begging you.
I know, I've had a few of those messages today.
The thing is, with what we have planned for the angelic ticket, it's absolutely worth getting the angelic ticket. And we don't want to, because we're releasing more angelic tickets this year. We completely sold out within just a matter of weeks last time.
2 weeks last year.
So we want to make sure that everybody gets the opportunity to purchase VIP. And by having too many ticketing options, I think it became not just confusing for guests, but for us. And it also meant that I had to spend a lot of time away from everyone else while I'm checking in guests. So I must have spent a solid 6-7 hours checking people in. That takes away a huge chunk of our time, and we just don't have capacity for it. So I think we have to look at the logistics of how we work as a company. Oh my God, I've gone back to work today. How corporate am I? I'm sorry.
The thing is, we took it in turns. We did take it in turns to do registration, but even by taking it in turns to do the registration, you could guarantee, like on the Saturday, I think it was the Saturday I was doing it, and somebody's like, Karen, oh, you're needed for this, or Karen, Rachel's looking for you for this, or storeholder wants you for this. And the thing is, and don't get me wrong, Nikki and Gemma, they chipped in also to do registration and things. So it kind of, and we all have had like kind of designated jobs and what we're doing, and we all kind of know where each other is and what's going on over the weekend. But sometimes you're needed in another area which you can't physically go to because you can't leave where you are. You can get someone else to come and take over, but by the time you've gone to them to see what they wanted, they've already moved on and gone somewhere else or done something else and given up on you waiting. So we spread ourselves. We spread ourselves so even though there's 4 of us, we spread ourselves so thin. It's, because we want to make sure all of our speakers are looked after. They're all happy and they get everything they need and they require, and we're there on hand for them to help them, support them, whatever they want. Same with our storeholders, and the same with you, the paying guests. There is only 4 of us, and there's a lot of all of you, which we're very, very grateful for. Don't get me wrong. But there's 4 of us, lots of you, and it's sometimes with all the different registration and everything else, it is difficult because we can't be in all places at once.
It's like, especially with the day tickets, there was no sort of, even though we said, please be there for this time, come and check in, but then you'd find there are still 14 people that haven't checked in. So you're having to spend the rest of your day waiting for those 14 people to make sure they can access everything that they've paid for. And ultimately it takes us away from the guest experience. So we're not able to direct people or say, actually, you've got another hour yet if you want to go here. So I think we just had to look at the logistics of the event, and we've had to be sensible about it. We'd love to be able to open different types of packages, but it's just not feasible. And we also had the benefit this year of having an American coach tour with us. And they are all returning next year. So all the Americans would love to come back, and there's probably going to be more than just the one coach. So with that, this is why we want to open up the angelic package to more people, rather than just saying, look, you can have this lot. Those in the UK can have angelic, Americans can have this, and you can have that. We just want to open it to everybody, so everybody has.
Which is what we did last year, wasn't it? They had a different ticket option. We did a completely different ticket option for the American guests, and they joined us later because we wanted to minimise the VIP. But then, on feedback from people as well, we had a lot of people over the weekend saying we would have bought a VIP ticket, but there wasn't any left. Because like I said, we did sell them out within 2 weeks of putting them out last year. So a lot of people were saying, well, we'd rather have the full package, but it wasn't an option. So we had to have this package.
Yeah.
So like I said, rather than having multiples, because the Sunday was the same, I stood there waiting to register people, and I was like, are they ever going to turn up? Are they coming? Are they not coming? Am I waiting for nothing? And in the end, they didn't actually turn any of them. I don't know. One I bumped into, and I was like, oh, I've been waiting for you to check in. Oh, sorry. I didn't realise. And I was like, oh, okay. So I gave them their wristband and everything. But then it was a case of, well, how many of those others had done the same thing and hadn't actually come to registration? Because we do, as you know, you get lots of emails from us, not so many next year, because as you will notice, the tickets or the forms, everything that poor Rachel sits there printing and doing and handing out and, you know, sorted out after. Whereas next year's tickets, all the forms, or the whole form is on the ticket. So dietary requirements, accessibility, emergency contact, absolutely everything we normally ask you on arrival. When you book your ticket now, you actually fill all of that in at the same time. So then we've just got it. Yeah. And also the same, we've changed the tickets as well for anybody. Sorry, I'm ranting now. And also the tickets for next year as well. We're doing the 6 and 8 installment options. But we did have people saying to us last year about not being able to purchase multiple tickets and having to do them as one. So we've changed that as well. So if there's 2 of you, you can click on the 2 ticket option, put your details in, put the name and contact number of the second person on the same form. And then once you've done all of that, you've paid, you get a receipt emailed to you straight after. And you also get a second email with your own unique installment plan link. And every time you pay an installment, we will resend you the same link. So you haven't got to keep sifting back through your emails to find it. So we've added all these extra things in when purchasing tickets this year. And all the feedback I've had so far today has been, everyone's like so much happier with it. They said it's amazing. It's so much easier to book. You've also got at the top of the page all the installment plans. So before you even click on it to purchase, you can see how much you're going to have to pay out. So, yeah, hopefully, like I said, feedback so far has been amazing for how we've changed everything on the website this year.
Colette's asked. Okay. Colette's asked. Oh no, where is it? This one. Where do they book the room?
Okay, so bedrooms, we will be doing the same as last year. There will be an exclusive festival code with our exclusive festival price for rooms. We're just ironing some things out basically at the moment, but we're planning to try and get that on there potentially by the end of the week, if not next week. But don't worry, there are rooms available. Don't panic. Don't stress. You will get one. But we just want to, how should we put it? Negotiating.
Yeah, well, you're filling the hotel for them. So you should get a good price because you're filling the hotel up. So.
Well, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? You'd like to think so.
Yeah, I've worked for Britannia on various sites. I know how tight they can be. It's fine. So can you tell us how many you had attend this time? Have you got numbers for how many attended this time round the festival? Do you know total figures roughly?
Wait to see if Rachel remembers.
We do, but I don't know if I want to tell you. No, so I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think of how many meals we ordered. So we had around 228 people this year, which is 4 times more than we had the previous year.
Wow.
Wow.
So we utterly destroyed it this year.
We
And then
smashed it this year.
yeah, then next year with the tours and things that we've got planned and in place, we're likely to see an increase there as well.
Again.
So it's going to next year it will be even bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Where are we going to put everybody? We're going to need a bigger hotel.
It's fine. I've already spoke to the hotel. I've told them they're not allowed to sell any rooms unless they're given the festival code.
There's big enough grounds. We can have tents.
There's 200 rooms at the hotel. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you know what, Big Rob? You know, mentioned about the tent. You know, there was a tent up there. I don't know what it was, whether it was for a wedding or for something. Yeah,
The
marquee. But that's, you know, I mean, another way that you can, you know, really, I suppose, extend out the event, you know, in and have other things going on, you know, maybe even at the same time, you know, where people can opt in for, opt out of, because there's an energy in all of that land, you know, just the building, but all of it, which isn't surprising, you know, when you think about the history of the place. But yeah, I mean, just something to bear in mind. I don't know.
It's fine. Sarah's already fixed it. She's just put, we're all like family now. We can just top and tail.
Yep, that's fine.
I just read her comment. That's what I was laughing at.
Bagsy, I've got Danny Moss, all right? So I'll top and tail Danny if he's coming back.
Whoa. Who said that Danny's coming back?
Oh, he's got to. Otherwise, I want a refund on my ticket.
And Rob. Some platform mediumship.
We're still in negotiations with speakers. We do have some confirmed and booked already.
Yeah, we do have confirmed. We just not announced them yet.
No, we wanted to give everybody just a chance to sort of recover from this one before we start throwing names at you. So yeah, we've got people booked. We're both Karen and I in negotiations with different people. And there's other things that are popping up as well. So it's not just about the speakers and workshops, but also the festival next year falls on the autumnal equinox. So we are doing something for this also. So this is what's it's a bit different next year. So it's not just, you know, not just sitting there listening to speakers, you know, it's not just mooching around looking at shops, but there's going to be opportunities to get involved in real celebrations. And the stall holders are all keen to throw themselves in, aren't they, Karen?
Yeah.
So we're going.
They all want to come back. All the stall holders want, and all the stalls we had this year, I think 90% of them all want to return next year. The stall holders. So that's amazing to think. That's the first time they've come to our event. A lot of those. Yeah. And they all want to come back next year. It just shows that hopefully we're doing something right for all of them to want to come back next year. And they've already been asking us, like, how can we get the booking forms? How do we book for next year? We just want to get it booked now.
So me and Nando interviewed one of your previous guests, and she said that she'd like to come next year. Didn't she, Nando?
Patty.
Yeah.
Patty. I know Patty wanted to come back this year.
Yeah,
Patty will come every year. I think she'd literally just come every year. If we
she did say that she wants to go next year. So
she texted me like literally a few days ago, and she was just like, "How was it?" You know, just like it wasn't quite the same without you, but we had a great time. And she's one of our cast on the Ghost Finders now. So we have not one but two witches on our cast for season 12, and she's just probably the nicest. She's one of the nicest, if not the nicest. One of the nicest, one of the two nicest witches that I've ever had worked with. Every which way you look at it.
She was lovely to talk to.
Yeah,
wasn't she, Nando? She was great to interview on the podcast.
Yeah,
and it was the chat before as well. You know, but I think it's with everyone that we have spoken to, even like when we had Karen and Rachel on Portal to the Paranormal, Rob on Portal. It's the conversations that you have in the background that it. And I think that's what was nice when I got to meet you all in person, because you had that sort of connection through the Vodcast that we do. It was nice that everyone,
We all know
you know,
each
like
other.
Rob met me for the first night and he gave me a hug. You know, the same with Danny. It was just it was a great experience. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think for me, one of the highlights for me was the reading that I had with Rob, the private reading.
Yeah.
Absolutely shocked me to the bones, honestly. And one thing I do have a request. My mum would like to arrange a virtual reading with you if that's possible. So
Absolutely.
if that's something that we can arrange afterwards, that would be.
Yeah. All you have to do is go to spiritmedium.com. That's spiritmedium.com. And any, you know, any time, there are many options, and I would actually be honored to meet your mum.
Yeah, I think that was the first thing that I said to my mum when we got home.
She's deaf as well, though, isn't she?
Yeah, but I'd sit with her.
Yeah.
But no, that was great. But can I just ask, Rob, do you find a difference of like the way people take to you from like here in the UK to over in the US? Is there a difference when you're doing like your mediumship and doing your readings? Do you find that we're different in the UK? We're more open, or do you think the US is more open to you?
To me personally, I think that it's people gravitate to me at events for different reasons. You know, I'll have people like, for example, at Warren's Paracon next month. I know it's 8,000 tickets that they sell at their event, their weekend event at the casino, and a lot of people there will do so either because they've watched the show, but of course they're more familiar with the show here in the States. But the English accent thing, you know, I could just let you could read the telephone directory to me, and I would just, you know, but then, you know, of course in the UK it's your kinfolk, and so I just feel I can be more. I just feel more chill, more me, you know, when I'm on British soil than here, you know, and not to diss the States, but it's just there'll always be an England, as Johnny Rotten said. And yeah, so I definitely enjoy reading for everybody, but there's something special about reading on my home turf, on my old stomping ground.
Yeah.
Question, Rachel and Karen. Lynn said, how much was made on the raffle in the end?
So we actually made £670 on the raffle.
Wow.
So that wasn't just the raffle, but we also had some really wonderful donations. So for Rob's friend threw in a huge, Jeff threw in a huge chunk of money. The speakers all threw in quite large chunks of money as well. So yeah, we did really well. So we're really grateful for that. It wasn't just, and then people were still coming the day after and like giving me £10 or $10. So everybody got involved, the Americans, the Brits. So we're really proud of that donation. So thank you very much to everybody. And next year we'll have more prizes other than alcohol, because I think that just led to our ruin, did that raffle.
Yeah, no Kraken.
Oh, I can still taste it. Oh, horrible.
Sarah says, little Rob has to come back. He's now part of the furniture.
No.
Don't think I've ever been so flattered.
If he does come back next year,
I'm a side table. Thank you
like
so
an
much.
armoire.
Bless you. An armoire. Yeah, chaise lounge. Ruth, I said that's well.
Here's one for you, Karen. Nick says, what's the difference with VIP and Angelica?
So the VIP is the angelic ticket. So that's the VIP Ultimate Angelic.
There we go.
So they're two in the same.
We just like to give them stupid names just to annoy you all.
Oi! You leave my names alone.
No.
And
we'll fix that.
Rob answered many questions.
Yeah. Well, when we come out, you were buzzing about it, weren't you? And there was two people thinking about having a reading with you. And we were like, yeah, you should do it. And they went and did it, didn't they?
Yeah, I think for me, the person that come through was not the person I was expecting to come through, if I'm honest. I think that threw me off.
Your name was dead on. But then you have these spirit guides as well. And my mum's a guy on a motorbike.
Yeah.
So it might be like a spirit
but it was
guide thing.
Yeah, it was new because, like I said to Rob, it wasn't something I've ever done before. This was booked by Sarah as a present. And like I said, the person that come through initially was, as you saw on my face, was a big shock. You know, like he said, he thought I got rid of him, and he was still there. So it was a great reading. But I think overall, the weekend overall was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I feel, you know, it was great to get to meet all of you in person.
Yeah. And if you're going to stay, you've got to stay in that hotel as well. It was a
good weekend. I just won't be, if I come back up, I won't be drinking. That's
You'll be on the Baileys.
No,
on this girly drink.
I'll be on a lemonade.
Girly drink, yeah.
With umbrella.
I'll be on the. I can't keep up with everyone. It was too much for me to deal with. As you saw me hanging on Sunday, I won't be doing that again.
Yeah, it was
but no, it was.
Thank you guys.
It was a phenomenal weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, for me, Karen, I think your speech again was absolutely amazing. Putting yourself up there, I thought it was brilliant. And just, you know, Rachel, from the minute we got there, you made us feel very welcome. Thank you for that. And Rob, I love you.
You're a legend.
Even though I was staring you out, I apologise. I
love you too.
What was wrong with me, but it's all love over here. And you know, thank you for the reading as well.
Thank you, and I love all of you. You're just you know, I don't have a big family, and so you know, it really it's good to feel like you belong, you know, and yeah, I was honoured to be back.
Yeah. No, I'd like to say, as my first time, I'd like to thank all of you, including Sarah and Nando, for telling me to pull my finger out my arse and book a ticket. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have come. So thank you very much for, you know, giving me a great weekend. I loved it every minute.
Yeah.
And no doubt we'll see you all next year.
Yeah.
We will.
Another party. Well, I say another party. I'll just be everyone.
With your girly drink, Baileys. Yeah.
Mate, leave the drink alone.
There's one thing that we actually forgot to mention, and that is one of the changes with next year is, if you've looked at the itinerary, we are going to be hosting some paranormal awards.
Okay.
So the nominations and votes will be out for that very shortly. So Nikki's taking care of that. And it's going to be a completely democratic way of voting. It literally is the highest, you know, the highest amount gets the award. So watch out, because we have things for podcasts, best investigated team, social media presence, most influential, up and coming star. So there's going to be lots of categories. So watch out, because your names may be in them.
Oh,
so
wow.
The Shadow podcast for Rob and Nando.
Oh, depends if you're nominated, doesn't it? But so that's the big twist for next year. We want to be able to celebrate what the UK has to offer. I think that we seem to slip behind a little bit. There are a lot of shows that we're watching on TV, they're all American. We're seeing a lot of American podcasts come through, and we don't celebrate each other enough in this country. You know, as a nation, we don't look after each other, and we shouldn't be in competition against each other. It's time we started to celebrate what we all have to offer, and that's what we want to bring together with the awards. So it isn't chosen out of favoritism, it isn't chosen out of spite. There are no nasty categories or anything like that. It's just to celebrate and give people a platform that they deserve, and to say thank you for their contributions. So make sure you look out for the awards and give that a good share when that's live.
Sarah has asked, is there going to be an award for best dancer, because already Neil's Stories won it?
Hands down, I have to share that video of him dancing. It's cracking.
He
Flamenco dances to Ocean Colour Scene. I was blown away by it. The rhythm.
That park life was awesome.
He had the moves and everything. Though.
He did,
Neil, you know, honestly, what a guy.
And like Rob said, in America, there's paracons and festivals popping off everywhere, and look, we're just lucky enough to have you guys. Not enough is there for us, and we're like the Mother Earth. We're the mother of UK of the paranormal, and we've not got a lot going on, really, have we?
Well, we're changing that, Sarah. Don't worry.
Good.
And I think you'll find
coming back every year.
There's one more show, but before your next before number 3, there's going to be a new show coming out in the UK. to add to the not so many shows that are British born and bred. Because let's face it, the Brits really we kind of invented paranormal somewhere around the Dark Ages, you know, and so it's good to see more British created content out there, whatever the medium, pun intended.
God. Is it bedtime yet?
Well, yeah. Sarah said, "Please don't share the video. I was dancing with him."
Oh, she was, yeah.
Gorgeous, Sarah.
But I
Definitely needs to be shared now.
Oh, it's going live.
Sarah had some good dance moves with Neil as well, you know, so you did a good job.
You show me snake hips.
So it was just overall it was a great weekend. And if guys are if anyone's watching and you're debating and you have, honestly, go up, you'll meet a great bunch of people, and there's a lot of laughs with a lot of people, and you know you get all of it in one. You know, I had a few tears with Mr. Rob Thompson that shook me. It's all, honestly, the people, like if you have the guests like you had this year, if you have people return, like new people just like them, it'll be a phenomenal weekend and you won't regret it.
Really treat us.
It's definitely worth the money. Don't let the price scare you, because the girls have done a fantastic package where you can pay in installments, and hand on heart, I got mine, and I'm definitely going back next year. I loved every minute. So
it was easy to get the train up, wasn't it?
We'd be driving. I can pick you two up. I know where you live now.
We're not doing the train.
The nearest train station is actually Hinckley. It's not that far away, because that's where I took Jay to send him on his way back to Chester. But yeah, Hinckley train station is the nearest train station. There's also coaches and things that you can book as well.
We've got an Uber from Hinckley.
If you can't drive, anybody that's concerned about, I can't get there because it's the middle of nowhere and I don't drive, there is other opportunities. Like I said, Hinckley train station is not that far away. And it's thinking about 10, 15 minutes at the most by taxi.
Yeah, from the train station, it was
it was £13 in an Uber from the train station for us.
There you go.
Cheap ships.
So it was good.
Yeah, it was easy.
Sarah said she picked people up as well. So Nando and Sarah live in Southampton. I live in Brighton. Cheers, Sarah. Thanks for picking us up.
You'll see how comment be quickly removed now. It will disappear. But no, thank you. I just want to say thank you for Penny for joining. I hope you feel better soon, but all you guys as well. You know, getting to catch up with all of you again, and you know, just remembering a great weekend.
It was an epic weekend.
And more to look forward to.
There we go. She's gonna come and get us.
Sarah, just stop offering, Sarah.
Stop it. She's been on the wine. Has she been on the wine again?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd like to say thank you all for coming on the show tonight, especially in helping us out. It's been lovely to chat to you all again. Rob, we'll get you on the show on your own. Me and Nando will talk to you and get that booked in.
I'd love to. Absolutely love to.
Perfect.
Can I just do a little plug for ourselves? You mind?
Do it.
Yes, I was going to ask you to do that anyway.
We are the other reason we're not announcing our speakers as of yet is because this week, Thursday at 9 and Friday at 9, because not everyone's available at the same time, we're actually going to have a post catch up with all our speakers. Half of them on Thursday, half of them on Friday.
Cool.
So that's the other reason why we're not announcing the new speakers as of yet for next year, because we still want to catch up with our speakers that have just had to abandon us and go home and all the rest of it. We're missing already, and it's not even been 2 weeks yet.
Oh, no.
It's what's lovely is that we've all stayed in touch. You know, we exchange telephone numbers and we all message every day, and it's just like you're missing your brother or your sister. So we want to make sure that we get to see them one more time really before we start announcing our next speakers. So It's I don't really want to do the chats. It feels like an end, doesn't it? It feels like that's the end of the festival 23.
We'll be coming off cry. We're going to have a little secret cry together on the phone after.
I had a bit of a cry when everybody started driving off. I'm stood there and Nikki put her arm around me and she went, "It's so sad when they go," and I was like a grieving widow at the top of the stairs, like, "Oh, they've gone." Couldn't bear it. Couldn't bear it. It was devastated. But yeah, I think it's great that we've all managed to stay in touch, and I think that
we did for the first year too, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we're stuck with everybody now. Can't get rid of Rob. Rob won't leave us alone. Look,
no.
Would we let you though? Would we let you? But you know, people like Dan Class wasn't able to make it this year, unfortunately. But we've got plans for him, you know, to bring him over and do some stuff with Dan, and we talk quite a lot. We just
talk to Dan nearly every day. His wife must think, "Who the hell is this British woman? Leave my husband alone."
And I love Colette. Colette was like one of my favourite people this year. She started off by physically abusing me. Just kept hitting me because I kept doing her head in. And by end of it, she was like, "Hiya, love her to death. I'm so glad you booked a ticket." So absolutely one of my favourite people. Love her.
And for anybody worried about booking a ticket if they're coming on their own, don't be.
No.
Because there's people that came last year on their own and they all returned this year on their own because they knew so many other people that they met the first year and they were made. What is Lucy's line? You're made part of the festival family from the first day you arrive. So you'll never feel like you're on your own. And she said that the first year, and she came back on her own again this year. So don't ever feel that you'll be made part of everything by all of us. You know, you're never on your own. So if you're worried about booking a ticket, you think, "Well, I don't know anybody." Don't worry about it. You'll wish you didn't know us by the end of the weekend.
And you know, just to follow on what Karen's saying, you know, it was so easy. You walk into the room and you literally could just start talking to anyone because everyone's there for the same reason. They have that same passion for the paranormal, or you know, they want to learn about it. And we met a young lady she come all the way from Dublin, didn't she?
Yeah, she's coming back.
And bless her, she was on her own, and you know, she just introduced herself, and you know, and then before you know it, you're speaking to these people over the next few days, and then you're sat at the bar like you've known them for ages. So
with them.
yeah, if you are worried, you know, you don't need to be worried. It's a good bunch of people, and there's nothing to worry about. It's just
all paranormal weirdos together.
Yep,
there we go. Paranormal weirdos
together.
Okay,
you can chant that.
We'll have it on t-shirts next year. That'll be our mantra.
Paranormal,
Paranormal weirdos together. This could be a thing. Hashtag paranormal weirdos together.
Oh god, Mr. Krabs is out. Look with the money bags.
So, ladies, if anyone wants to book tickets now, where can they go and find your tickets?
Go on, Karen.
www.festivaloftheexplained.com/tickets. Hold on. /2/ basically just go on festivaloftheexplained.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shut up, Karen.
And Rob, if anyone wants to get hold of you, where can they find you?
So they can find me on the steps of Bosworth, waiting for my Uber, or they can find me at spiritmedium.com. Also on Facebook, you can find me on there, and Instagram, all those other great things at Rob Thompson Spirit Medium.
Thank
you. One last question from Nick says, is there any special deals for disabled?
So there are no financial sort of specials for people with disabilities, but we do make a point of trying to make everything as accessible as possible. Next year, everything is ground floor. It's easy access with wider doors, with handrails. We're in well-lit rooms. So we do make a point of making sure that the festival is accessible for everyone. Even the coach that we booked as well for the tour this year, that had a special access. It had additional doors, it had ramps, it had lifts. So we do like to make sure that everybody can access every square inch of the building. And we take that into consideration when we're booking the rooms that we use throughout the weekend. So we did look at the marquee, for example. I know Rob mentioned the marquee. We did look at that and we considered using it. But then we thought of the space and how people would actually maneuver around those tables, the dance space, the band, the bar. And it just wouldn't have worked. So a lot of thought goes into what we do and where we're putting things. So yeah, we do pride ourselves on the fact that everything is accessible for everyone.
Great.
Yeah.
And even though the talks were upstairs last year and this year, there is a lift to be able to get to them, and also the room that we use for the party this year, there's a lift there as well. So, we like I said, we make sure that it's accessible for everybody. We try and make it accessible for everybody. And Bosworth does have disabled rooms and things as well.
Oh, good.
No one told me about the lifts on Sunday morning. No one told me about these lifts.
There's lifts everywhere, Nando. Have you not seen any of the lifts?
No, as I said, I was walking up the stairs like a dog. I was literally crawling up the stairs.
Oh my goodness me!
No one told me about a lift. So something not right.
I think one of the things maybe that we will look at doing next year is a concession for carers. So should anybody need some additional assistance, with either moving around the hotel, or that they need somebody there to administer medicine, or just to be a support for someone, we will look at concessions for carers, as we want to make it as accessible to everybody, regardless of what somebody's restrictions might be. Everyone deserves the chance to have that platform and to make the friends that we've all made this year. So it's something we will look at. We
did look at it this year, didn't we? Because we were contacted, and we did put something together.
Yeah.
We did put something together, didn't we, for it? But we didn't hear anything back, did we, from them? So
no, we're quite flexible. So we just want everybody to experience everything that we have. We don't just do this because we want to hang out with people and we want to meet people we see on TV. It's about you and what you're experiencing. We want to bring you an experience. It's not about us. And if we can make that as easy and as accessible as possible, then we'll do what it takes to get you there.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant. But it's been great catching up with you all. I look forward
Thank
to
you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Anytime. I'm sure we're going to do follow-ups as you start unfolding the festival. We'll get you back on.
Yeah, we're
Mason,
going to
you've got something nodding. I'm going to stalk you, Karen. I will be sending you more emails.
No, we're just going to have you both on the show in a few months' time, so you can blurt out some more secrets for us
that people might have missed. But everyone, go and head over to the Festival of the Unexplained Facebook page, their websites. We'll put all the links in afterwards. And like we've just said, if you're on your own, don't worry about it, because you'll meet a lot of people that are just like-minded people, and just a great bunch of people to be around. So it was good. But thank you all for coming on. Rob,
thanks for having us.
I'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Not you, Big Rob. I don't like you.
No, I'm saying thank you. And Rob, I love you.
I love you too, Rob.
Yeah, because you wrote it on my autograph. I love you, I love you, I love you. Then you didn't, because you didn't realise it was for me. So that's treasure.
Well, that was my little way of deflecting, my secret intentions. But
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining in.
Thank you, everyone.
Definitely want to catch up with all of you. But for now, take care, and we'll see you soon.
Ciao for now.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bless you.
Bye. Bye.
Boom. What a great chat.
That was lovely. Honestly
and truly, people that are thinking about it, it's, there's loads of positives to the Festival of the Unexplained. They did a great job this year.
They did.
The guest speakers, I I'm sure they're going to get great guest speakers next year, but every speaker wanted to mingle with us.
Yeah, they
you know,
did.
everyone wanted
they all chatted
to,
away, didn't they?
you know, having a chat with Dave Schrader. You know, Neil Story, all of them were great, and the hard work that the girls put into it was, Daryl was funny.
Yeah, he was funny.
It was that young girl that came to the table and she asked who Dave was, and Dave was like, if you don't know me, you shouldn't be at this table. I just died. I was like, that's brilliant. I love that.
It's just funny, you know. And, you know, for me, like I said before, you know, and I know a lot of people have seen this from me recently. I've got a big thing about mental health, not just men's mental health, but mental health in general. And for me, you know, it takes a big person to stand up in front of a room of people. And do you know what? Openly admitting that you've had issues in front of your family, I know how hard that is. And for Karen to do that, you know, it took a lot of guts to admit. And this is the thing: if Karen can do it, then people need to. Anyone can do it. And I think, you know, that if that was the one thing I could change, would be is having that on a live stream for people to see, not for Karen to have to share it all, but just to see the bravery that she went through to do that. It's so important. You know, it's like when I went on my tangent last week on the show, we had a message back saying, you know, no one wants to hear about it, but they want to talk about your problems, you know, making the wrong comments. You know, so Karen did a great job.
And also, sorry, not to butt in, but going to one of these festivals, where would you ever have the chance to actually have these paranormal celebrities to yourself? I mean, have a drink with them, talk to them on a one-to-one basis. I mean, I remember going up to Danny Moss and just touching him, and like, oh my gosh, you're real.
You're real. Yeah.
Me. And he's just there at the bar.
As we saw with Big Rob, when Danny Moss put his hand on his chest and Rob's like,
sorry, but I was just like,
you look like Mr. Bean.
A Big Rob, when we walked in and he was just stood at the bar and there was Dave stood at the bar and we just looked at each other and was like,
I'm just so glad that you asked me to come. I really am. I know there was a lot of mix-up. I was going with someone, then I was on my own, and I was thinking I'm just not going to go myself, but I'm so glad I did go. And it was well worth every penny I spent meeting lovely people, meeting Karen and Rachel. You know, it was brilliant. So, I'm really grateful. So for that, I think on that note, we will say our goodbyes.
Goodbye.
What was planned this week? Anything planned this week?
What have we got planned this week? No.
no.
It's kids at school. Weekend? No, nothing. We're just going to take it
He'll
easy.
do a cold dark marathon with Rocco. Yeah, he's been banging into that at the moment.
Okay.
Aidan Turner.
Sarah's just put a quick note. Nando, Sarah, and Rob, was lovely to meet you. Looking forward to seeing you guys again next year. I'm having to call it a night. Speak soon. Take care, Sarah. It was great to meet you.
Sarah, thank you very much.
And guys, if I'm right, and I apologise because I was drinking a lot, Sarah. Sarah is part of the Boo Brothers, and they've got a Facebook page. Go and check out their page because they also have events going on throughout the year. I hope I got that right because, yet again, I'm blaming alcohol for that. But it was great. I think it was Sarah and her mum that was there. Was it Sarah and her mum?
Cool.
You know, so it was great. But no, thank you everyone for watching as always, for your ongoing support to the Shadow Vodcast. And we will be back next week with Glenda Dawson.
And then the week after that is our reaction to jump scares that Sarah's going to find.
Oh my.
Then we've got Purple, a debunker coming on. And then it's the event that you and me are on. And then after that, we've got our mental health podcast, which I might see if Karen would like to come on with that and chat with us as well. So
yeah,
great. But for now, we'll say goodbye and enjoy the rest of your evening wherever you guys are. Bye, Rob.
Bye.